this is Mass X with a brand new One Punch Man the Strongest video. And if you haven't heard, Metal Bat will be our next SSR Plus character coming. But is this a character you should be pulling forward? Well, I've talked about it in another video I released about a week or so ago. But let's talk about the character and let's break down if it's really worth getting, especially with some meta changes that will be coming. Well, first off, it's a duelist hero, stun immunity, constant follow-up, specialized reborn. Its basic attack is attacks a single target with 3 consecutive strikes for 150% of attack. The ultimate for this character launches consecutive follow-up against the main target and 2 enemies with lowest HP. When there are less than 2 remaining enemies, will suffer combo attacks. Each target will take 3 consecutive strikes that deal damage by 120% of attack. Grants also charge damage by 380%. The passive is permanently grants immunity against stun to other allies in his row. Does not include him, keep that in mind. Grants immunity against extra damage to himself from round 3. And for that awaken passive, triggers Reborn after taking fatal damage, recovers 40% HP before action, or when all allies are defeated up to 3 times after triggering Reborn, launches consecutive follow-up damage and effect of ultimate skill against one enemy with the lowest HP. So he's a pretty solid character, especially the fact that he can revive even if all your other characters are no longer alive on the field, which is interesting. Nice little character, works really well with bomb era. So his ultra ultimate, 3 hits direct damage, goes from 120% to 150%. Charged damage goes from 380% to 420%. Chasing goes from 2 times to 3 times. And an additional effect, every follow-up heals 12% of his max HP. So yeah, his ultra ultimate is sick. His extreme passive, immune to stun for Rowan himself, like we talked about. Immune to extra damage after 1 round for himself only. So that's a nice upgrade too. The 5P passive, immune to stun for Ro and himself. So now he's included, which is very cool for that 5P passive. And immune to extra damage from the start for himself, though only, also pretty freaking cool. His Awaken 2 revive goes from 3 times to 4 times. His revive heal goes from 40% to 70%. And the perform ultimate 1 enemy goes to 3 enemies. That's what makes him really good. You can imagine with a character like this, it is simple. It's all going to be attack, 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 attack. That simple. Martial arts, flash, you name it, anything that can go with getting your attack higher is going to be what you're going to want to be using. So you have a host of options out there. His buff gear, of course, again, attack. So for the hero one, attack and attack percentage are going to be huge. If you can get multiple ones, more power to you. His class S attack, again, damage rate, if you pull, it's nice with him, as well as on the duelist one if you can get crit. But again, your focus is going to be attack first and foremost. So the pros with this character are pretty obvious from what we've already talked about. Super self revive, the first revive to still take effect even if your whole team is dead. So pretty freaking crazy. So yeah, so that means he's guaranteed to revive however many times you can revive him. This also ensures too, it helps out with your other characters that revive. In particular, think of like Bakazan. So now some of those characters can revive because you got someone that's going to be alive on the field because they're going to come back. Same with Octu CK, which most people probably have. Carry DPS if built right. Ultimate and follow-up is very strong. Of course it is. We already talked about it. Immune to stun for Ro and himself, of course, if you go all in on him, and the extra damage for himself, which is freaking crazy, at least for bomb era. Good, but again, we'll talk about some of the problems. He's going to be good in PvP and PvP. He's going to be overpowered for the hero side at first, as well as live clash, if you care about that. It's basically, your duelist training center. He's just going to be a juggernaut in there. and really could be pretty good for bosses due to what he's able to do. Now the cons, and this is where we really got to focus our attention on, okay? He requires a lot of investment. Let's be honest, what SSR Plus doesn't? But yeah, you're gonna really gonna have to go all in for this character. His KS and Ultra ult give him that 12% HP heal, so yeah, you're gonna want that. The OC2 gives him that additional revive to 4x. But again, you're going to have to invest a ton in him. This is the big problem we've got here. He's going to be countered by the Garo Core, okay? Garo Core is probably going to be coming out 30 days after the release of this character, so it really diminishes his value, at least for PvP. Now again, you're going to be able to use him in other areas, which is great, but again, do you really want to invest in a character when you know it's basically got about a 30-day lifespan? Yeah, pretty much you can see where this is going to go. So the Garo Core prevents units from dying, if you're not aware, and become immune to damage if in enhanced yielding state. So since Metal Bat SSR Plus follows up on the lowest HP unit, he'll always attack that unit and it will deal 0 damage. So his follow-ups are effectively rendered useless. This also affects PvE, as you can see, blah blah blah, because basically if you've encountered anything with the Garo Core effect yet, then you know exactly what this means. The immunity to stun is not 100%, as there is a partial 50% chance to pierce, same with the DOT, like with other characters, so keep that in mind. To me, it's a con, but not a big con. The real biggie is the Garo one. But some of the obvious too is most people went after CK hard, you know? You're still finishing up your CK in extreme training. Are you really gonna be wanting to focus on this character for 30 days and know that, you know, he's not going to possibly be that productive for you after that point, at least for PvP? So yeah, and quite honestly, there are going to be better SSR Plus units. We've already talked about Garo, hinted at it, that you're going to be wanting to get it, especially because it's a core character and with the meta change with it. And of course, Atomic Samurai, which we haven't even touched upon, is just a freaking awesome character that really, honestly, in the end, for free to play, Metal Bat is just not going to be it for you. Honestly, for most people, it's not. He'll be fun for 30 days, and there you go. And that really sucks. So his value kind of stinks. So, with that being said, I can't recommend this character for anybody. I mean, if you gotta have him, great, that's your choice. Yada, yada, yada. But in the end, this should be a hard skip for most people. Focusing on your CK, finishing it up, and focusing on getting Garo, because that core is going to be very important for a while. So let me know your thoughts if you're excited for this character, or even considering getting it, or if this is a hard pass like it probably should be. Well, with that all, guys, hope you have a great day. Take care of yourself. Hope you have a nice holiday if you celebrate anything. And with that, talk to you soon.